Session we'll discuss about functions, none, and keyword args. Function is a block of code which only runs when it is passed. So you can pass data known as parameters into a function. You can return data or any values from your function. Some of the built-in functions which we've already seen are print and input function. There's also called as length function, which is a built-in function. So let's see now how we can create our own function, also called as user-defined functions. So when you create a function, there are two parts. One is called as a function definition, or where we define the function, and the next part is called as calling a function. So function definition is where we define our function name, which is preceded by a keyword def. So def is a keyword, write your function name, parentheses and colon, and within the function you define what is the intention of your program function. So in this example we have defined a function called as def my function, which is going to print a statement called as hello from function. So the next part is calling a function. So wherever you need in your program, you can call your function. So to call your function, you just need to write the name of the function followed by the parenthesis. If there is an argument or value passed into your function, that can be specified here. So what is the advantage of using a function is, the main use of the function is when you have a group of code or a group of statements which has a specific task that would be called multiple times. So instead of writing that same code multiple times, we can enclose that specific code into a function and call it as many times as you want. So therefore it avoids duplication of the code and makes it easier to find the code. Your code is more organized and also easier to debug your program. It makes your program short, easier to read, and easier to update. So the next part is, you can also pass values into your functions. The values which are passed into your functions are called as arguments, or it is also called as args. So arguments are specified after the function name inside the parenthesis. You can pass many arguments separated by a comma. So let's see examples to understand this. So here we have defined a function called as my function without any arguments, preceded by the keyword def, and this is the body of the function where we are saying hello from my function. Next, the main part of the program, we are calling the function here. So when the execution starts, the execution always starts in the main program. That means here, so print let's call the function would be executed. So let's see how it works, and then it will call the function. So when it executes this function, the control goes to the function definition here, and if there are any arguments, it will be passed, and then it goes to the body of the function, and the body of the function is executed. After the body of the function is executed, the control now comes back to this part of the function. If there is any value to be returned, it will be returned, otherwise it goes to the next line. So let's execute this. As you can see here, first this statement will be executed. Let's call the function, and then this part of the line, this statement would be executed where we are calling the function. So then the control comes to this function definition where it prints hello from my function. Now the control comes back to the point where it left. So therefore this is the output that you get. Let's see another example. In this example again, this is the function definition, and this is the main part of our program where we have calling the function 3 times. So function definition, how do you write it? Write the keyword def, write the name of the function, pass the parenthesis colon. Then there are 3 statements which is part of this function definition. Print hello 1, hello 2, hello 3. So when the execution starts, the execution always starts on the main program here. Print call the function, and therefore call the function will be printed on the screen. And then it comes to this part, next statement. In the next statement, it sees that this is a function call, and therefore the control goes to this function definition here, and then it prints these 3 lines. And now again it comes back from the function to the next part of the statement, hello. Again the control goes back to this function definition. Again it prints these 3 lines, and then again it returns back to this part of the next statement where again it calls a function. Therefore the output of this program will be call the function and then hello 1, hello 2, hello 3 printed 3 times. So as you can see here, call the function hello 1, hello 2, hello 3 because of the first function call, this hello 1, hello 2, hello 3 because of this second function call, and the last hello 1, hello 2, 3 because of this function call. Now, coming to the arguments, in the previous case, we did not have any arguments or values passed into your functions. We can also pass values into your function. So, the difference between this program and the previous program is we are giving arguments to this function. I have given an argument called as name, and what we are printing here is hello string concatenation name. So, that means whatever value is passed or argument is passed to this function, that would be printed here. So, when it starts the execution, first this line would be executed. So when this line is executed, it goes to the function call. It will pass the argument as Alice, and therefore the output printed would be hello Alice. Then again it returns back to this statement and comes to the next line. Again the call goes to the function definition here. Bob would be passed to the variable name or the argument name, and hello Bob will be printed. So the output of this program is hello Alice and hello Bob in the next line. Now, coming to the next topic, we will see the statements with parameters. So let's go to another example. That's what we saw here. So the next statement is returning values. So far we have seen is our functions, we are not explicitly returning any value. So explicitly, if I want to have a function, it has to return any value, then we use the return. So the syntax is write the return statement followed by the value or the expression that you want to return. So let's see this example. So here we have the function called as getAnswer function, where there are numerous return statements. So what is the meaning of this? I am defining a function called as getAnswer, to which I am creating passing an argument called as answer num. If that value is equal to 1, it has to return a statement saying it is certain. That means this function is returning a value to the main function, it is certain. If suppose a value is equal to 2, then to the main function it is returning a string called as it is decidedly so. So coming to the main part of the program, what we can do is, so let's write a program to generate a random number. So here we are calling the function randint, which will generate a random number into 1 to 9. Let's give a print so that we can see which random number is generated. Now let's call the function. The function we are calling is getAnswer R. So that means whatever value is generated randomly, that is passed as an argument to this function. So when the execution, this statement gets executed, automatically the control goes to this function. Suppose the value generated randomly is 3. So 3 is passed to this number answer num, and then it will check for this if else if condition. Is it equal to 1? No. Is it equal to 2? No. Is it equal to 3? Yes. Suppose a random number generated is 3, then it will return yes. So once it comes across the statement return, it comes out of this function definition, and the control comes back to the main program. Here we have the value s that would be assigned to the variable fortune. Next, let's just print it and see. So print fortune, and therefore what happens? Yes would be printed on the screen. So let's execute this. As you can see, first this statement was executed. The first statement in the main program was executed. So we have given a print r. R contains the random value which was generated. That is nothing but this. So random value generated was 2. Next, 2 was passed as an argument to this function, and the control went to the function definition where 2 was passed. The first if was false, it came to this is true, and therefore return it is decidedly so. So it will return, or it will come out of the function with a value it is decidedly so. So hence the value when it comes back to the function call, here it is decidedly so would be returned to this function that would be assigned to the variable fortune, and I am printing that, and therefore I can see here it is decidedly so. So like this, in multiple executions you can see different print statements getting being displayed, because the random values generated are different every case. Now suppose, can I replace this 3 lines of statement within 1 line? Yes. How can I do it? Just call the function getAnswer, and within that as an argument I can just call this entire function random int, and then I will give a print value for this. That's it. So I have replaced, I have just skipped this part of the statement. So instead of assigning it to a variable and then printing it, directly I'm giving a print statement for the function get answer, to which I am giving the argument random generation directly. So instead of writing these 3 lines of code, I can put it into 1 line this way. So I'll just give comments to this, execute it again, see again. So you can see that each execution you can see different strings to be displayed, because the random numbers generated each time is different. Now coming to the none value, as you can see earlier in this example, our function definition had a return value, but we have come across some situations like print functions and many other built-in functions we did not have any return value. So in that case, what would be actually returned? So it is actually a null. In other program languages, we have a concept called as null. Null value means it has no value, not even 0. We do not have null in Python. We have something called as none. So none is a keyword which is used instead of null in Python, where it denotes no value, not even 0. And very important, remember, as we have seen different types of data types earlier, integer, string, double, float, there is one more data type called as none type data type. So that means this value none is of the data type none type. Very important, none value is the only value in Python which is of the type data type. Remember this, none is the only value which is of the type data type. So this is similar to null, nil, undefined in other programming languages. Basically, none means value without a value. Now, why do you want to have a value without a value? There can be some cases where I want to create a variable, but I do not want to give any value to it, because giving any value can be may not be meaningful to it. So in such cases, assign none to it, which means there is no value to this variable. And also we have seen print, just a print function without any arguments. So when I just give a print function like this, then also by default this function will have a return value called as none. So when I just give print, for example, let's try this. When I just give print, it will have a value which is called as none. So let's just try this to show. Let me just demonstrate this. So if I give something like this, execute this statement, you can see there nothing actually got displayed. So that means this print function is actually returning a none value. That means no value. Let's see some more examples for none value. So here we have a print function where I am specifying a string, that is hello. So naturally what happens here, hello would be printed on the screen. Now what is assigned to spam? To spam, hello is print, but hello is not assigned to spam. Spam would be none. It would be none. There will be nothing in it, because this function, what it does, it prints hello, but it does not assign hello to spam. So spam is not having any value. So when I give print spam, the value of spam would be none. It is not 0, it is not hello, it is none. So therefore what happens in the next statement, I am checking is none equal to spam. I am checking if spam is equal to none. Yes, it is equal, and therefore it should print true. So let's execute this and see. See here. Hello got printed. Why it got printed? Because of this statement, print hello. But what got assigned to spam? Nothing. It is none value, and therefore when I give print spam, none got printed. I did not say spam is equal to hello. I said spam is equal to print hello. Therefore nothing is assigned to spam. So is this condition true? Yes, spam is equal to none, and therefore true is printed on the screen. Now explicitly also I can assign none values like this. If x is equal to none, therefore I have assigned none value to this. If x, that means if x is equal to true. Is it true? No, because x is none, therefore this is not printed. Else if x is false, is it false? No, therefore this statement is also not printed. Else, that means anything else, it is not true, it is not false, therefore by default this statement gets printed, where I am saying none is not true or false, none is just none. Therefore this statement gets printed, which is seen here. Now there is one more function which we are using called as check return. Now when this function is called here, what happens? The function called the control comes back to here. In this function we can see that there is no return statement. There is no return statement, and therefore what happens? None is passed by default. In Python, a function which does not have an explicit return statement will return a none, and therefore none is printed on the screen. Why it got printed? Because I gave a print value. I am saying print check return function. Since nothing is returned explicitly, what comes here? None. None is passed to this function, and that is why you have got none. None is displayed here. So the next one is arguments. We can pass arguments to our function. When you are passing arguments, the position is also very important. So let's say we go to this example. We have been using randin function always. So a randin function is a built-in function, and where the position is again very important. The syntax itself states this is the start value and this is the stop value. Start value should be less than stop value. So when I execute this statement, it will successfully execute, generating a random number between 1 to 10. But suppose I execute this statement where the start value is greater than stop value, it will give you an error. Now suppose we have been seeing that when we give print statement something like this, hello gets printed and automatically it goes to the next line. So that means what? Print function is automatically adding a new, in Python, print function adds a new line to the end of the string. So what is printed? Hello and then world in the next line. Suppose I do not want this new line character at the end of the string when I'm executing print function. So we can disable it by just saying end is equal to single quotes. So then what happens? Hello and world gets printed in one single line. Now we have already seen that we can pass multiple arguments into our function. So when you pass multiple arguments to print function separated by commas, the output generated would also be cats, dogs, mice separated by comma space. Now if I do not want space in between these arguments, I can just give saying that separated is equal to comma within single quote. So when I say this, the space gets replaced by comma. Let's execute this and see. See, there is an error. Why is the error generated? Because this function is giving an error. So let's comment this and execute again. So you can see now, first the statement is executed, print function automatically adds a new line. Next, hello and world is printed in two different lines because print automatically adds a new line character. Next, we want to disable the new line. How do you do it? By giving end at the end. End is equal to single quotes, and therefore hello world got printed in one single line. Now I am passing multiple arguments to our print function separated by comma, and you can see that cats, dogs, mice got displayed on the screen with space in between. Now if I do not want to have space, I want to have comma, just write at the end of the argument SAP is equal to comma, and then this gets displayed on the screen. So please try more examples of such sort to understand how you can create functions, how you can call functions, how you can pass arguments to your functions, and how you can use return statements. And try to do more examples on none keyword. It's a very important concept. What is none? What is its data type? And what is the usage of it? Thank you.